Hey, this is Robert at Merritt Webb, and today we're going to talk about the second in a series of very important topics. We talked about confidentiality in a previous video, and today I'm going to go back to documents and back to that. I think I already have it open here. Back to that same section, confidentiality forms, and the informed consent issue is what we're going to deal with today. And I clicked on the wrong one. I already have that open here. Creating informed consent statement is the one that you want. I'll close the sample. There are two documents that you need to have signed before a word of counseling is done. One is the Confidentiality Agreement. If you haven't listened to that, it's critical that you do go up and listen to it. It can save you a lot of money, grief, time, headache, maybe your job. So you're going to want to go listen to that one. Do not counsel at all without a confidentiality agreement signed. And I would suggest that you discuss the parameters of the confidentiality with the client. This document also should be created and signed before you counsel a person. A lot of times they come to you for counseling and haven't got a clue who you are, what you do, where you came from, what you know, what you don't know. They don't know anything. That's uninformed counseling. You get in trouble for that. You can get yourself in a bind very easily with that. All the person has to do is say, well, I thought they were a licensed counselor. I just assumed they were. And you're the one who's holding the bag at that time because you didn't tell them you weren't. And if you did tell them, it was casual, it was verbal, and as a professor of mine said, if it's not in writing, it didn't happen. You can go back and forth, he said, she said, all you want, but if it's not in writing, the other side wins. You want to do everything you can to protect yourself. Counseling is a dangerous business. You're dealing with people who are psychologically unstable, emotionally unbalanced, and a lot of times they're filled with anger. They've got serious personality issues. You're looking at people who will launch out and do something to you if they don't like what you did. And it'll happen real fast in ways that you can't imagine. So you want to cover yourself in every way possible. We're going to go over this informed consent real quick here. Not going to spend much more time than a couple minutes on it. An informed consent lets the person know who you are, what you do. They need to know that. And I'm scrolling down to the section. There's basically a disassembled sample in here. And this is what you're going to want to do. An opening statement, okay, telling them everybody signs this, and it lets you know who I am. You're going to want to tell them what your knowledge base is. Doesn't matter what your knowledge base is. What matters is that you inform the client before they give you consent to treat them. If you go to court, they're going to ask you for your informed consent statement. And when you say you don't have one, they're going to say, so you didn't have consent to counsel this person. This person did not give you permission to counsel them, and you were doing it. There's no way to counter that. This document here says, I told you who I am. I told you what I can do. I told you my education. And you signed off on it and said, I'm good with that. It does not matter what you put in here as long as it's the truth. Give them an understanding of who you are right here. Type of counseling that you do. Maybe a type of counseling you don't do. You can put that in there also. If you have any specific religious or spiritual methods that you use, put that in there right up front. Assessments. What kind of assessments do you use? What do you use them for? Put in here that they must sign the confidentiality agreement. Payment for services should be delineated. A statement that says that sexual misconduct will not happen. Supervision. Who oversees what you do? Who you're responsible to? Who do you run to when you need help? And then any kind of a closing statement that you want to make. Don't counsel people until this is signed by you and by them and dated, so that they have given you permission, after knowing who you are, to treat them.